our little Sunday chat. I'm going topless today. I'm going topless. Only joking. I'm only joking. Okay, mate. How have you been? How have you been? I want to talk about you this week. Oh, nice. So a podcast, it sort of educate the uneducated. A podcast is an app that you download, and you can download your specific podcast. Is that right? No, on the eyes of my son, I don't know what a podcast is. I've never done one. I've never seen one. Yeah, but, right. With mate, that's bang up my street because people won't have to look at our faces. Well, I mean, the thing with podcasts then is they've got to be entertaining. Don't get me wrong. I'm assuming they've got to be motivational and educational, but surely for someone just to be listening without the visual, it's got to be entertaining. No? When this is all over, you're coming to London to live in my spare room for a week, and I'm gonna get some experts down. You're gonna get your guys, and we're gonna put together something really, really, really cool. You can tell me what lights and setup, and let's do something on a weekly basis where you come to London. We do. I've got so many ideas for this new. I want to kind of do. I think it'd be great to do it with you because you're actually a very, very good talker and a very, very good interviewer. Because a great interviewer, you know why I'm a terrible interviewer? Say why? Because I talk too much. A great interviewer asks great questions, sits back, and then comes back in again. I can't do it. That's why that idea I had for doing the interviews with my footballers and celebrities and musicians, I would need someone like you because it's not like I like the sound of my own voice, but I just a good
Yeah,
interviewer knows when to talk and when not to talk.
I tell you what a good interviewer does. He makes sure his fucking microphone's not muted for the last 5 minutes while we've been talking and no one can fucking hear what I'm saying, only what you're saying. Fucking brilliant. So yeah, so we've got, oh, what, 22 comments saying only one sound, only one sound. I'm like, what are you on about here? Sit in the top corner, mute. Fucking brilliant. So I'll go again. Welcome to episode 3. You've already heard that 80 side of my questions, but yeah, episode 3. I was just announcing that we are getting a podcast because of Redmond Multimedia, another name drop there because he's doing the work for me. But yeah, he's doing a podcast. Me and Adee have gone down well. We've just got to basically talk nonsense and listen to us every hour. Every week for an hour up to. And then, yeah, hopefully you'll enjoy it and engage with us. But Adee just invited me down to his house. He said I was a good interviewer, and then you're basically up to speed now. You haven't missed anything else. But yeah, to be fair, mate, I can't imagine much work going down if I lived in your house for a week.
No. I think, the mad thing about me, the perception of me, because I live next door to Stringfellows and my past, that I'm bringing birds back every night and I'm in strip clubs. Those days I did do it for 25 years, but now I'm a real workaholic. So I think just with the little setup we have now, one camera, I've got
Yeah.
no proper setup. I think this setup with me sitting here is better than that I've been doing, but I want to get someone down to get proper lighting, proper interview chairs, and I want to do something where I invite musicians, footballers, designers, producers, directors, interview them whilst cutting the hair. But I want to do it. I'm not saying I'm trying to be Badil and what's his name? Remember the legend, Skinner and Badil.
Yeah, Badil Skinner. What's his name? What's his real name? Frank Skinner, is it?
Frank Skinner and Badil, but I'm not saying that kind of scale. But what I'm saying is, I think it's be cool to have two people doing it, and I think that I think you're really good at it. I think you've got a good voice. You got a good voice for radio.
Yeah, I'll certainly say I've got the face for radio, mate. I'll give you that one. Well, I don't think I'm that good, mate. I'm muted the first 5 fucking minutes of this, but anyway, we'll get away with that one. We'll get away with it.
Great job, mate.
Thank you very much.
Everyone's talking about the amount of people I've spoken to this week. We might as well talk about what we've been doing this week. Since I've launched this NHS concept, it's gone from 200 goodie bags. Already I've got to 1,200. It'll be 5,000 by the end of next week. I've just had another £30,000 worth of stock donated from a huge company. Since David Hay and Rylan and Paul Gallagher and McGee and Max Beasley, and I can go on and on and on and on and on, that I've posted my post, it's just gone insane. I'm having companies ring me, say, we'll do this, we'll do the boxes, we'll do this, we'll do the transport. It's gone insane. And what started me feeling comfortable again, because like I mentioned last week, I went through a bit of a dip of kind of losing my confidence and thinking to myself, I've had my day, it's time to move over, it's time to let the young guard in. And I thought, you know what? There's life in the old dog yet, mate.
Mate, well, I was thinking about this today. I was thinking about like the way. It's weird you say that because I was genuinely thinking of it, and I was thinking. So like, I'm 33 now, so I'm at the point where I would have liked to have made it a little bit earlier, but I've still got the same aspirations to get to where I want to get to, even at 33. But I just think, be inviting people like yourself on, and then I was talking. Oh, what's your friend called? Now I've got him on my fucking Instagram. Bear with me. But by talking to these people and and I'm inviting them on. It's kind of like these are our inspirations, and it's nice to sort of regurgitate that and say, like, do you know what? Because of you, people like myself are sat here today. Because of people like myself, hopefully the next generation might sit there.
Yeah, so, mate. It's a circle. It's a circle.
Dale Watkins, I couldn't remember his name then. Dale Watkins is chatting to me. Yeah. And it's because of you. And it's this sort of regurgence? Is that the right word? Regurgence of getting everybody back together and saying, look, we're all on lockdown. Let's talk about what we were and who we were and what we were up to and what we're doing now.
Yeah, I mean, moaning and being upset and sitting at home and twiddling your thumbs. I have never, in 22 years of hairdressing, been busier. I went to bed at 6 this morning packing these boxes.
I love them boxes.
They're great, and I'm literally, no exaggeration, getting an influx of emails and DMs from nurses and doctors saying, we'd love 5, we'd love 10, we'd love 5. So I managed to speak to one of the big guys at NHS the other day, and they're going to help with the distribution. Like I said, Goldwell are the first big company to come in. What's the show called? The Alternative Hair Show.
Yes.
That Tony Rizzo does in October. He donated about 600 products, brushes, rollers. Jamie Stevens has got an order coming tomorrow. I've got a huge order coming from America. I'm speaking to Ndola and Redkin, Trevor Sorby. I mean, the industry are good, mate. And I don't think they're just given because I'm a little bit of a name in the industry. I think what they're doing it because they're visually seeing something creative and meaningful and tasteful happening. They're like, if you rang me and you would do the concept that I was doing, I'd be like, I'll send you 300 products. It's like this thing we're doing. The only reason I'm doing this again, we've done it 3 times now. The first time I thought, kind of enjoyed that. I've done interviews before where I've gone, fuck's sake. Don't ever put me in front of that dude again. But it's amazing, and on the back of it, we won't say too much to the viewers, but I've had a very, very interesting call from a production company, and I've come up with the most ingenious idea for a show to do with what's happening today, and they're very excited, mate. It's really, really, really looking. All these things are happening. These podcasts and these Facebook Live things I've never done, and I've realised I should have. The mistakes that I've made, you ain't going to make, because at 33, you have already now set up a great channel. You've set up a great communication block for people, and it's none. You don't have to pay. You don't have to pay to log into your thing, do you? You
No.
don't have to subscribe.
No.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I won't mention any names, but these fitness guys in the morning, it's all subscribe and, log in, and I need your details, and this is going to turn into a financial database. There's no sponsors here. I ain't getting paid nothing. You ain't. This is just off the cuff. You've been getting some great people, and I've watched every single video that the guys have done. It's gone from hair ups to colours to blow dries to technical hairdressing to creative hairdressing, creative colouring. And
well, what a good time to sort of go into that. To be fair, you've done well there, mate. You brought me in nicely to talk about basic. Yeah, brilliant. Honestly, it's like we've rehearsed this. We bounce off each other for these things.
You called me at 2 minutes to 8 when you're supposed to call me at 7:50 to make sure we're all, and you've just gone bang, let's go.
Oh, mate, I'm not. I'm fuck off. So we had this week. We had a massively busy week. We've had. We started last Saturday was in last one, so we can't have that one. James Masters, as he's spelt, on Monday the 13th. He did that colour. Did you see that? He did.
Amazing.
He pulled rainbow back, and the way he did it was sort of like a ladder effect, and then you continued that on. Fantastic. It looks so simple as well, but it's such a striking job, and I wouldn't have known where to start prior to his tutorial.
Who's the young guy you had on? The colourist, good-looking kid.
So we've had two that are very similar sort of to that description. We've had him on who did the rainbow effect, and then on Friday we had Connor Doyle as a colourist, who's the Irish guy. Who's
the other kid you had on? A young, maybe Connor could have been Irish, young, good-looking lad.
Yeah, they're both good-looking lads. One was on Monday, had a hat on.
Yes, that's the dude.
James Masters, yeah, so he did it.
He's a good talker. He's
fantastic, isn't he?
That's what I'm always looking at. You see, when I'm looking at your videos and the people you have on, I'm kind of observing the work, which is paramount, but I'm also looking to who has a good persona, who talks well, who brings the crowd in. It's like anyone can tell a joke, correct?
Yeah.
But it's the real good comedians will say the same joke, but they'll, you know what I'm trying to say.
It's the way they bring it out, isn't it? It's the acting.
Yeah.
Absolutely, they engage you. You make them want to be your friends and things like that, and it's amazing. And he's definitely. I've had a few people say what you're saying. He has had some good response for that. Then we had 3 newbies to the sort of like stage work. We had Megan Howe, Holly Watson, and Kimberly Holmes. They did like a hair up sort of midweek thing. We've had a lot of colour last week, so I tried to mix it up. And they did a great job. But all 3 of them, the reason I bring them together, I knew them from when I was in the Townley Adee team. So I invited them on as my friends a couple of weeks ago. So they've done fantastic. Thank you very much for that. Connor Doyle was the Irish guy. Now, what this guy does not know about the science behind colouring your hair, as well as giving you the finished results, because I tend to find people can do the work but don't know how they do it. That's me. I don't understand how I get it. I just know that works. And then there's the people that can tell you why it works but don't actually do practical work. Like the science behind it all.
You need to be a master colourist, and this is a compliment, you need to be a complete and utter, it's almost geek in the sense of the amount of science that goes into colour. It's not like a haircut. With a haircut, it's about head shape and suitability, face shape, looking at hairlines, section patterns. Will this fit? Will this shape fit? Will this technique work on this particular hair? But colour, hair can react differently by a half a tone or a tone. If you leave something on a minute too long, it's colour. That's why I was never interested in colour. For me, the colourists are the young sun heroes, because the colourist does all the hard work, and then the hairdresser steps up, does a trim, does a blow dry, and the people are going, mwah, mwah, mwah. Adee's my hairdresser. It's like it's the girl at the colourist who spent 3.5 hours doing a colour correction.
100%.
They're the unsung heroes.
100%. Well, if anyone had watched them the two colours were unbelievable. Live, search hashtag 19, search hashtag 23 on the group. You can find that at any time. And then if you're into hair up, it's 20, 21 and 22. They were fantastic. So yeah, that was last week. I really enjoyed last week. I learned a lot. And I'm not saying I haven't learned a lot from the other ones, but I felt like last week I kind of just found myself engaged in all 5 of them, basically. So yeah, I enjoyed that. Next week, though,
you're selecting well. You're not just going for the stereotypical famous hairdresser, because that can get a bit boring.
Yeah,
it's nice. This platform is good for giving, the folk of tomorrow a chance on these things. Like when I set up my buzz, with your help, of course, that you've promised live on air, I want to bring in some young cats. I want to bring in these little sort of Lee Stafford's and the Adee Phelans and the Dale Watkins of the 1999 or the early 2000s and sort of say, hey, let's see what you've got.
Yeah.
Because this format, you can't run away, Simon. You either can cut the mustard, and not only do you have to be able to cut the mustard, you've got to be able to use this, and you've got to make it. I'm having people log into my sort of site recently that are just not hairdressers. They're like, love the buzz, mad little hit. It's kind of cool. I should have been doing this years ago. It's Cardinal with all those shows and TV shows and all those shoots and celebrities I've worked with, and I should have been on this years ago, mate, because I could have had a platform by now that could have been. But saying that, better late than never.
Exactly, mate. You're doing it now, and just while you're on that subject, go on, throw us in, because you keep every time. People won't know this, but people that are listening and watching, he rings me up a couple of times a week. We have a catch up, tell me what's going down. But you tell me some of the names that have been ringing you that I don't even know are watching the show or listening to the show, and you're ringing me up going, X said this, X said that, and I'm
won't know them all. It's like
I know most of them, 90%.
When I first got into hairdressing, I only knew Nicky Clark, Charles Worthington, Trevor Sorby. I didn't know the Angelo Seminaris. I didn't know the Sam McKnights. I didn't know the Guidos. I didn't know the kind of, these sort of avant-garde and sort of superstars of hair, but not necessarily the most
commercial
public. And I kind of worked my angle by winning Men's British was my first thing. Working with Beckham was my next thing. And then I thought, I put those two together and thought, I kind of cut the corner. I went, I'm going straight for the media now. I want to be a kind of sort of consumer hairdresser. So I kind of I know super, super, super talented hairdressers like Tim Hartley that don't want fame. They don't want publicity. They just love the craft, you know?
1 second.
You having a little kiss? You having a little kiss and cuddle from the missus?
Where? Sorry, mate. My little one just decided to pop his head round the corner, and he's on the rules of basically try and keep yourself through the back way, but he wanted to come through the middle way. So I thought, hang on, I'll just have to deal with that.
Good lad. Good lad.
Thank you, mate. But yeah, no, I understand what you're saying, and like you said, you don't know them. Well, I wouldn't know their names, but I do know most of them. But I'm like you, I learnt them as I went because I wasn't brought up in a hair world. I fell into a hair world because I wanted to do the fashion of it. But this is what I'm liking about the way I'm trying to set this up. The way I'm trying to set this sort of hair socials up, for those who haven't watched any yet, is most of these people like yourself won't have seen before, and people that are in the hairdressing salon world will not have seen before, because they're just sort of like generic hairdressers to them. They just see this as another person doing a live. But I've worked with these people and I know how good they are because I've worked with them at L'Oreal and thingy, and they've never had the stage to sort of do it because of the right timing or whatever. And I'm just kind of saying, look, mate, I know you know your shit. I want you to get on there and show everyone else that you know your shit.
A few will die. A few will
come
on. And I've watched it. Listen, I'm very honest. That's why I'm probably liked and more so disliked in the industry, because I'm very honest. When I've done a bad show, I'll have honest people like Ted Watkins and Stafford in the past and Martin Holmes and Steve, all these people going, didn't pull it out of the bag today, mate. And I want to hear it. And I think by doing these platforms, even when I'm working with you on this, after 20 years in the game, I still go back and watch from start to beginning.
Yeah.
And I kicked myself. I went, I interrupted Simon there. He was in a flow, and I butted in. I need to let him fit. So I'm still kind of trying to get it right.
Mate, to be honest with you though, that is something that I'm not a trained guy. We're learning that bouncing off each other. But what we are doing is we're doing it over delays and internet and things like that. So it's going to happen anyway, isn't it? That this is not the normal way to do a podcast. It would be face to face with a microphone in your face and say, "Answer that,
Wait
fella."
until we're doing these videos cuddled up in my bed together. Oh,
Oh, brilliant, mate!
Glass of milk, little cuddle.
I'd take it.
It's going to be lovely.
Oh, mate, do you want me to read out some of the comments? Because there's a couple for you guys. Learnt so much from this week's lives. They were all fab, learnt loads. Simon, you have caught the sun, mate. I'm a bit red today, but it's only because the fucking ring light's on me. I were fine until I put that ring light on. I went pink. Fuming.
You've been putting foundation onto this show. Oh, no. Last week you were doing sponsorship. Now he's wearing makeup. What's going on?
I've gone for the unbranded approach today after last week's battering. Holly Watson said, "Love being involved this week, Simon. What you put together is amazing, so I'm grateful to be part of it." She was one of the artists. If you haven't seen it, get back and watch it. Totally agree. Because I'm going up now, I'm not even in thing. I mean, I second this, Holly. I keep saying to him how grateful I am for putting it all together. Such a good platform for us to be inspired at all these times. But there was someone, I can't find the fucking comment now, it's gone further up, but basically saying what you're doing is amazing, and for some reason I can't find it now. And how they've been watching you on Instagram, and what you're doing is fantastic. Someone's basically echoing that opinion of you.
Best thing, it's the most rewarding. I don't know if you've seen my post earlier. Some doctors from the NHS turned up, brought me a hamper, chicken, steaks, potatoes, Easter egg. They created this, never mind the bollocks.
Yeah. Love that.
So they've recreated that instead of never mind the bollocks. It's never mind, we are the NHS.
Love that.
And they're kind of, his brother, one of the guys who works at Watford Leon, his brother Danny, has created the new stickers because they were costing me £1 just for the stickers.
Wow.
He's done 3,000 of them for me.
Is it?
And for free. And it's kind of like, I'm speaking to companies I haven't been able to get hold of for 20 years, mate. Procter & Gamble, Unilever, these companies, they don't. I'm a mere mortal, but I'm getting emails from managing directors saying, we want to help. We love what you're doing. I'm like, shit, this has gone. It's getting bigger than me now, if you know what I mean. It's for the next 2 weeks, I won't be able to cope with this. So I've made allowances now to get extra help and get parcels sent to certain places for people to start labelling, because I'm doing 12, 14-hour days. But it's brilliant, because when this is over, and me and you, or I'm speaking to someone on a show, or I'm doing a shoot, or I'm doing an interview or a radio show, and they'll go, "So what did you do during the coronavirus?" I'll be like, "I was busy. I was busy being proactive. I was busy putting smiles on these doctors and nurses, mate, are grafting, mate." I had a doctor, I will mention her name, a doctor Saturday, who picked up 150 good gift sets for Croydon Hospital. She was almost in tears, mate. These people are doing 14, 15-hour shifts. On top of that, they're petrified of what's happening at work.
Mm.
And people are saying to me, some really rude guy the other day, I always listen to bad comments, I can't help it. He went, "Oh, we got the message, AD," as if to say, enough's enough. The 100-year-old soldier that's just raised 24 million. Do you think he stopped at 100 grand? The doctors and nurses that are grafting their socks off, working 7 days a week, do you think they went, "Oh, I'll take it easy"? The reason why Great Britain is called Great Britain is because there's good people out there that get off their arse and keep pumping that message in, and I'll keep doing it every day. I need help. I need donations. I need packaging. I need more products. And if people get bored of it, turn off. You know what I mean? It's turn off, mate.
Exactly. You don't have to follow, do they?
No, and these platforms, that's why I look forward to Sunday now, because it's kind of like my week coming to an end.
Yeah.
And it's nice to be able to speak to someone and say, you know what, here's what's happening. Here's what I've done. What have you done? I see what you do because I watch you every day and watch your links. And I'm like, he's landed in. He's landed in. He's landed. Some of these concepts, they do one a week. You're doing 5 a week.
Yeah. I'm
So
trying.
it's good, mate. And I'd rather the first man over the wall always gets a bloody nose. And people have seen what I'm doing, and I'm getting calls from people who I really respect in the industry, like my peers, and they're like, what do you need? What do you want? I'm like, fucking hell, man, this is great. So I love it. I've been busy and I want to stay busy, and this is keeping my head sane.
For those who don't know, I'm going to give you the spotlight again because the happy people, I've said it earlier and I'll say it again for the new people that have joined in to watch. My little man runs past again.
He's all right. He's all right, brother.
For
Hello,
those,
mate.
where's he gone? He's over there. Go on. So for those who don't know, this is Adie's story. Basically, we have a downloadable podcast now, so people might be listening to this and saying, "Oh, what's he on about? I've not seen this." But Adie is doing gift sets for the NHS. But I'll let you take that away while I let my little man out the room. Go on, tell us what you're doing.
Yeah, so I'm doing these gift sets. I started off doing 100, and the boxes that I had for one of my brands, I've rebranded them, and it just says thank you for Adee for the NHS. And I'm getting people like, I'm putting 3 or 4 products in each gift set. I'm getting doctors and hospitals ring me on a daily basis saying, we'd like 10, we'd like 15, we'd like 20, we'd like 30. So it's gone from being a little kind of one-off, get 200 out, to it's taken over completely, and I'm having lots of people help. I wanted to ask, if you don't mind, I've never ever, Simon, done a shout out or a please or will you help me ever in my life, in my industry. I've always just done stuff, but regardless, if there's one people watching at the end of this, I know you put this online so people do watch afterwards. I need any hairdressers or bloggers or wholesalers or product companies that can donate a shampoo, a conditioner, a pot of wax, hair grips, sanitizer cream,
Hairspray. I don't have anything else. Sunglasses.
You know what I mean? I need barbers or hairdressers that are watching your site. If they wouldn't follow mine, they can post them. One guy last week from Wales posted me 4 products, mate, and I made sure that when I put them in the box, I put a note in the box saying to the nurse, whoever gets this gift set, it came from a gentleman in Wales who's donated these products, and I wanted to know where they came from. So every time they open up these boxes, there'll be a little note inside, which is really cool, mate. And so I'm asking any of your viewers, any of your hairdressers out there that can donate a product or 2, or I've got a little Just Giving page. I need to raise money for packaging. That's the only thing I'm short of. So if anyone can, go to my Just Giving, and we're all in a tough situation here, so I'm not.
Absolutely.
Everyone's asking everyone to give. I'm not. I'm just saying if anyone has got a spare £1 or £2, it's going to an amazing course. And I wanted to ask you, Simon, put you on the spot, if you could speak to your product companies you work with.
Absolutely.
All they can do is, even if they said, I'll tell you what someone sent the other day.
This is a suspense.
Someone sent a couple of thousand of, like sample.
Oh, yeah.
The little product companies give little samples.
Yeah.
So even if someone, if you can speak to who do you work with? Matrix?
Matrix, part of the L'Oreal group, yeah, so.
If you could drop a little call, mate.
Absolutely, I will do that.
But basically, that's what my whole NHS thing is about. It's about getting presents, not handouts, presents, gifts, tastefully packaged to doctors and nurses after a shift, and for them to go home and feel as if, it's not just a facade. It's not just a PR thing on TV where, clap your saucepans and kick your toilet rolls in the air. These people need help. They need products. They need gifts. They need the protective equipment. And these donations aren't going unnoticed, mate. Every single person that's gave on my Just Given page, you can scroll down. I'm screenshotting them. I'm gonna make sure every single one of these people are repaid back in some way, because giving a fiver at the moment, mate, it's a lot of money.
Yeah,
The people
absolutely.
that haven't got it.
Absolutely. Well, just to that, I mean, I'm asking people now to share this live for me, because I can't do it myself, because I'm actually filming myself, and usually people will see me going share, 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 and sharing it all over. So I'm asking everyone to help me out there with the sharing. And while you
Thank
all
you,
do
brother.
that, no, you're welcome. And while you do that, just to put a bit of context to Adie's story. Adie doesn't know this even, but my sister is a sister on a ward, and she's currently a sister on a COVID ward at Blackburn Hospital, which is part of the East Lancs Trust. And she's been, her hands are sore because she's having to wash them so much. She's coming home, she's crying after a night shift, and she's 25 years old with a little one, and she's coming home at the minute crying because she's scared that she's going to catch it, give it to someone in the family that then would even though she's isolating like everybody else is, but the fear and like you said, the sort of tiredness is just overwhelming and consuming her. And my missus is she's a student nurse, and I feel this sort of like pressure within my own household. So yeah, I imagine that what you're doing.
Mate, tell me the name of the hospital.
Yeah.
And I'll make sure 20 gift sets are delivered to the Blackburn. What's it called?
Blackburn Royal.
I'll make sure that next week 20 gift sets get sent to there, and they can hopefully give them to 20 nurses that need it. Like I said, some hospitals are getting 100, 150, some are getting 20. I've got an Irish lady that messaged me last night. She went, I've just donated £50 to your Just Given fund. She went, can I buy a gift set? I said, no, but I'll send you 30 for the 30 nurses in your wing.
Yeah.
And that's what happens when people give a little, they get a lot. So your sister or your missus, sorry, or whoever it is, wherever hospital they're in, you'll give me the details tomorrow, and I'll make sure that I send out.
I will do. My sister Lizzie was, so I'm proud of you, and I'm sure everyone else is proud of you for doing what you're doing, and carry on going. But on the Matrix side of it, my boss usually watches this. I won't tell you her name because I don't want her to get bombarded with it. But she usually watches these, so hopefully she's seen that message herself. So that's fantastic. I'll just read out a couple of comments. Absolutely agree. Someone said to me that we are normally money rich and time poor. Right now we are money poor and time rich. Use this time wisely. Some rise out of negativity. It's all a choice of your perspective. Interesting. That's Michaela Corder.
There's two ways. It's kind of like prison. After a while, mate, 28 days, you become institutionalized.
Yeah.
And that is when you get up in the morning, you go and have your breakfast, you get your shower out, you're back in your cell. We all adapt to situations. This week has been the easiest week for me. I've forgotten what's outside. I've forgotten I can't go out. I've forgotten there's no noise or no music or no parties, or I can't go out for a beer. This is my surrounding. Like if I went to prison, I'd learn how to read properly, and I'd learn to write, and I'd write a bloody book. That's some people find something inside themselves and say, I'm going to make a difference. Yeah. I might as well help some people in some tiny way and feel good about myself than sit on my arse moaning. That's why you're busy doing your thing 7 days a week, it looks like it. I'm doing my thing. People are noticing. People are helping. And at the end of this, you'll be able to walk out your front door and feel good about yourself, mate.
Yeah,
people go, that was a nice little touch you did, mate, with that channel. It was wicked, man. And, at the end of the day, not that we do it for taps on the back, but we certainly do it to make a difference. And I think we're making a difference. It's good. Feels good.
Absolutely. And like I said, the podcast has risen from sort of like what was just basically me trying to get some people together to share tips. I will teach you men's cuts if you teach me balayage. 40 people's turned into 8,000 this week, by the way. So that's amazing. Adee, amazing the work you're doing in a matter of only 2 weeks. That's from Jenny Murphy O'Neill. She's an Irish follower of the page.
Go on, Jenny. Go on, the Irish.
Jackie Lyon said that she can donate, and then Sharon Rat says, where do we send to?
Products. If you want to send a couple of products, and guys, I need to stress, no matter the samples or the any type of product, send them. Just go into my DM and message me, and I'll WhatsApp you. I'll give you my personal number. And donations, it's in my bio, my Instagram. You just giving. There's like a little blue Just Giving page, and it's like I said. The great thing about Just Giving, you get to see every person that donates. So I'm going to make freeze snap. What do you call it when you press your screen to screenshot?
Screenshot, yeah.
I'm screenshotting every name, so I'm going to make sure that every person, if I have to make a video with their little names coming in, with pictures of nurses getting the gift sets, and it's going to be because I need donations for one thing, for the packaging. So that's the link. It's in my Just Giving.
Claire Kendrick says hello. Amanda at Sack sends clapping hands. Anna, I can't read that last name, I'm sorry. This is so good to send gift sets out. Nicola Saul has said, such a fantastic thing to do, amazing. Our trade makes such a difference to so many people, and this shows us at our best. Keep on going, guys. That's from Katie Fallon. That's a good comment. I like that one. Michael Convey, fantastic, amazing work. Luke Parsons. Oh, I haven't read this one yet. Aston and Fitcher have just delivered 1,800 bottles of Alpha Par shampoo and conditioner, and it's to the Nightingale Hospital at the NEC just as a little thank you. That's from Jane Clayton.
Aston and Fincher.
Yeah.
I need to stop hassling them because I've been hassling them to help me. But if they've done their own thing, Aston and Fincher, if you're watching or you see this, I won't trouble you anymore. You're doing your own bit. I'll scratch you off my list.
Well, yeah, it's amazing. And what you're doing, whether it's the ripple effect or whether it's a direct Adee Phelan's NHS, blah, 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 the same purpose is going out there, and that's unbelievable.
There's no awards, Simon. There's no first, second, third. There's no presentation on a stage. And this year's coronavirus product-raising hairdresser goes to... I don't give a shit. I don't care if people copy what I'm doing and set up their own pages and stuff. I don't care. The more we do, the better it is. Simple.
Absolutely. So that's Adee Phelan's little thing that he's getting on with this week. He basically is doing an unbelievable thing, and it's going down amazingly. So what we'll do now is we're going to look, as I am looking at my phone, so it looks very unprofessional. Events, where is it? There it is. So we're going to look at what's coming up. So we're at that point now. So obviously we've got 3 weeks more of lockdown. That's guaranteed. Potentially further.
Guaranteed. I think what's coming up for me, I'm going to be... I know what you've got coming up. You've got some amazing guests coming on every week, it sounds like. You should try and get Dale on.
Yeah, we're chatting now. We are chatting.
Trust me, Dale's nothing like me. When we're doing seminars, we're a perfect double act because he is just pure. He's a purist.
Yeah.
I'm all this. I'll do a cool little haircut, but Dale will go into the science of it. And for anyone that really wants to know about the real intricacies and technical, like you mentioned, the guy earlier with the colour, how he's like a scientist. Dale is a genius, and I will bet my last pound you will get an amazing feedback from Dale's work, because if there was only 10 people watching with Dale, those 10 will go, oh my God, genius. So I think it'd be great to get on there.
Amazing. Well, I started this sort of 3.5 weeks ago now. It was a Saturday, so it's just 3 weeks ago and a day, or 4 weeks and a day, and I've lost track of it all. Basically, we've got 8,000 people now, members of the page.
8,000 targeted hairdressers.
Yeah.
Most people have 1 million followers, but only 1% are what they call active followers. People that actually care. The other 900 are in India or the Philippines, and they've got one follower. Your 8,000 are quintessential professionals, hairdressers, colorists, barbers. So to get 8,000 of any sort of audience is huge.
Well, yeah.
Brilliant.
The active following, I haven't got the analytics to hand. I've got my next page up, but the analytics last time I looked was 7,500 members, 7,100 active members. I mean, that's like 400 short of 100%, so I was buzzing with that. But yeah, next week, mate, right, we've got 3 weeks of another guarantee. So I've managed to get, because I don't really have that many friends, so I'd only planned to get sort of like 2 to 3 weeks of that lives. I thought I'll get like 1 full week and then I'll scatter it for the next 2 weeks. So I managed to get 2 full weeks, then 3 full weeks. Now we've just done his 4th, and we're going into this other 3 weeks of lockdown. But I can say I've got another 2 weeks definite, and I'm halfway through the 3rd week again of artists.
Mate,
So,
anyone that you try to contact or anyone you would like that I know, you just tell me, and that's where I can help, mate.
thank you
Trust
so
me.
much. Well,
I can pick up the phone and say, do this. It's wicked and it's fun and it's cool.
Well, we've got obviously 5 more acts. I'm trying to keep the weekends free now because I can't keep up with the sort of creating the next content. I'm struggling for that bit. But what I've done now is we've got Daniel Granger. Have you heard of him? He's a perfection cutter, and he's coming on tomorrow at 7 p.m. So he's a really good one, and he's started his own webinar company teaching haircutting. So basically, he's coming on, showing us what he's about, what he's doing, and what his webinar could offer you if you wanted to sign up. That's his. We've got Alfie Pfeffer, I can't say that last name again, sorry. And he's doing the future pastels. So he's saying like what colours are coming in on trend for the summer, pastels, shades, and then application of it. Amazing. We've got the It Girl from Creative Head Magazine 2019, Sarah Black. We've got her on Wednesday. That's another good name to get on the book. So Daniel Granger, Alfie, Sarah Black, fantastic. Then this one I'm really excited for. And bearing in mind how good them 3 are above it. But this one I'm really excited for because it's completely different. So we've got 2 guys that started a company as business motivators, and they are called Winning Ways. I don't know if you've heard of these guys, but the 2 guys from the Birmingham area that both have a salon with a turnover of over £1 million each, within something like 8 miles of each other, and they're basically mates. So they come around, they talk to you, and they've spoke to me before at a conference. They did a conference thing, and I was there. And they've done this thing, and basically they just kind of make it simpler for people like me that aren't that necessarily business minded. I'm just a good hairdresser that's done well in my town. So I've then ended up with a business. So these guys are going to go take us through it all, how we can prepare, how we get us booked straight, and how we get the best out of the bad situation that we're in now, and prepare us business wise for the next sort of 3 weeks and onwards.
For everyone that wants to see creative stuff,
yeah,
there's probably more people, believe it or not, that want to hear motivational stuff and problem solving.
Yeah.
Yes, it's not visually the most exciting. It's like not visually exciting. Listen to me babble on. But sometimes you want to hear about something motivational or something credible, or how to enter the awards, or how do I do a great set of pictures? How do I get into the whole celebrity circuit and doing, covers and stuff? And then there's people that want to hear, how do I rescue my business? How do I get bums on seats? How do I reopen? So, again, it's covering all bases. It's a good
Absolutely. Thing. There's 2 things you're going to get from this. You're going to come out and you're going to say, "Fucking hell, yeah, I didn't realise that. I've learned something." Or you're going to say, "I knew that. I'm not doing as bad as I thought I were. I'm actually on the right path." There's only 2 things that can come out, and they're both positive.
I say that to people when they go to seminars. If you walk out of that seminar and you haven't picked up enough tricks, it means what you're doing is pretty good, mate. When people come out and say, "Oh, kind of done that, doing that, but I learned that," I'm like, bang, results. Like, what? I'm like, result. You've gone to a seminar, you've watched a very talented guy or girl do something amazing, and if you're saying that you picked one little trick out of it, it means you're doing a pretty good job, son, unless you're lying.
Exactly,
so sometimes it's picking up. When I go to Sassoons or to a course, I'm looking to pick up one trick, just one trick or one tip to make me happy.
Exactly, and we all have that. I mean, we're not going to be a podcast that's full of journalists and patting people on the heads and saying well done. But I will say that we all know that hairdresser that thinks he knows everything. I mean, it's a salon thing, isn't it? There's always that one hairdresser in a salon that like, you can't teach me. I know it. I'm not going to try that. That does not work. Well, it does fucking work, mate. You just need to try it.
Say that to Cristiano Ronaldo. He's still. This is fact, not gossip. Fact, horse's mouth.
Yeah.
Fact still stays behind for an hour and a half after training it every day and practices his free kicks. So
unbelievable.
The man who thinks he knows everything is the man who knows nothing.
Exactly. And then to finish the week, we haven't even finished yet, fella. We've got live number 27. It's a Bob versus mullet. So I think it's going to be a bit of a twist on a mullet, but obviously incorporate a pixie cut maybe. I'm not 100%, but it's Bob versus mullet. And it's by Jack Mead, who's a ridiculously good-looking man for all you women and fellas out there. And Daniel Granger on Monday is not so bad looking his cellmate, so you got a real fucking treat visually about them two guys.
Listen, you keep mentioning good-looking guys. I'm not gay. I only mention the guy's a good-looking boy. You trying to fix me up?
Mate, I'll tell you what, I'm a straight man, but even I look at this guy and think, fuck's sake. So,
You know what? If you're good-looking and talented and you're a good talker, it's like, wow, what a combo.
Yeah, we'll wait till you see Monday and Friday then, fella. So yeah, so that's another.
Right, that's it. I'm going to get on the weights this week, mate. You're going topless next week. Shave off the beard, put a fake tan on. Oh, mate, wait to see.
It'd be like watching Channel 4 again. But yeah, but that's it. That's last week. That's this week coming up. I don't know if you've got anything else you want to throw in there or talk about at the minute.
I just think that I would like to do a haircut either next week or the one after. I'd like to start showing some of my work. It'd be nice to back up what I'm talking about with some nice work.
Yeah.
Because people see my work on my streams and Instagrams, but on your platform I just talk because I like to chat. But it'd be nice to do a little look. But like I said, mate, these Sundays are great. Keep doing what you're doing. It's fantastic.
Thank you.
The way it's done, the way it's streamed, the way people are doing it in their little cabins, in their bathrooms, in their kitchens, in their sheds. I think it's really cool. It's free, mate. Like I said, we have to stress to people out there, Simon, a lot of these programs, who knows, going forward, it could turn into a business. And who's to say that people don't deserve for something to turn into a business when they've done it for the right reasons at the beginning?
Yeah.
But I think you're putting in place some really nice platforms for when this is over. I think it could grow and grow and grow, and I think it's fantastic. I think it's what the industry needed, and I want to give a massive shout out to Creative Head and Hairdressers Journal, who are our industry kind of magazines. They've been fantastic for me this week, and I've realised how much I've missed the industry because I really kind of jumped ship and went down the consumer road, and it feels good to be back in amongst the pros, mate.
Absolutely,
it's a good thing. But I think good luck with you next week coming up. I will call you. Shall we speak Tuesday, Wednesday, and you've got the names for the competition winners from last week.
Yeah, we need to sort out this week. So this is my fault. I'll jump on this one now because I forgot.
Yes. But before you go, everyone, Simon this week was supposed to run a competition for barbering and men's edit. I'm dropping you in it here. I love it.
Oh, man,
men's
absolutely.
Editorial.
I deserve it.
So next week, Simon, we're going to run a competition for a £250 prize for people's favourite men's look. It can be a photographic cut. It can be a salon look. It's barbering, editorial. It's all men's. So next week, next Sunday, send in your before and afters to Simon and my Instagram. Me and Simon will pick a couple.
Yeah.
And when this is over, I will ship you a really beautiful, beautiful goodie bag worth £250 for entering.
Amazing. Well, what I'll do is, as a way of an apology, we usually do it on a Wednesday, so it's Wednesday challenge, but we'll extend it. So we'll start today, and as soon as this has gone out until next Sunday when you announce it, they've got till the start of next show to enter. So they've got a full week. But yeah, it was my fault. It got to about fucking 5 o'clock on Wednesday, and I was like, I didn't realise it was Wednesday. I'm not even gonna lie.
You're getting all famous and popular now, mate. Listen. I've been there, mate. 1 minute you're like, I'll do this. The next minute it's like, next week you'll be like, Adee, can you speak to my agent? I'll be like, speak to your agent. What's happened to him? But no, mate. I think we'll run a men's thing next week, and I look forward to it. I look forward to Sundays.
You've got some love coming through here, You got. This is really the most positive thing for me that has come out of lockdown. I've learned so much from loved my job again. We can't thank you enough. That's another one. Triple threat. That's Sharon Wright. I presume she said about the artist. Excited for all these artists. Yippee! Yes, Adee doing a haircut. Love art. Yes, would love to see you do another. To see another haircut from you, Claire Kendrick. Emma Hare
Simon needs to do one. We should get you doing one.
Do you know what, mate? I ain't got time for. Well, I have got time. I want to do one, but I mean, I haven't got a slot available for me because all these artists are like.
Why don't we Why don't we, not next week, but the week after, you've got plenty of notice, why don't me and you do our setup, but you can be doing a haircut and I'll do one.
Yes, love that idea. Emma said, yes,
So,
love to see your work. Jackie says it. Claire Kendrick, love Hairdresser's Journal. Oh, fucking hell, I can't read that one. Definitely love to see an haircut. There's so many people saying yes, yes, yes to really doing a haircut. But I agree with me. I can't get myself a slot. Can't get in there. I did number one because obviously I thought, right, I'll do this if you do something back for me. But didn't realise there'd be 8,000 members.
Sunday week, not
Yeah,
next Sunday. Next Sunday, we'll do the competition
yeah.
and we'll talk about award pictures and how to enter collections and get through to the British Hairdresser Awards. But the week after, let's do it now. Let's say it now. Me and you, 8 o'clock, Sunday week, you have your mannequin set up. We'll still do the chat. And as you're cutting and getting into it, I can do a little bit of convo. And then when I need to focus for 4 or 5 minutes, and then you can jump in. The great thing about doing seminars, this is a top tip.
Go on.
When I've traveled the world doing shows and seminars, and when I've been on stage on my own, I can speak and talk. But when you're doing it with somebody else, that is a winning formula, because sometimes when you do seminars, you need to really focus, mate, for 2 or 3 minutes. Because remember, at the end of the haircut, you've got to display it. So what I do when I'm working, say, with Dale, when Dale's giving it that, I'm giving it that, head down. And then Dale goes, Adee, back to you. I'll stop cutting. Dale then goes like hammer and tongs. So what you get is one person speaking, one person technically doing what they're doing, and then when it comes back to me talking, I say, by the way, guys, the last 3 sections I did this, or this, and it keeps it.
Yeah,
keeps it. It
I
keeps
like
it flowing.
it.
So Sunday week, haircut of your choice.
I'm going to recreate the 2000 Beckham Mohican.
All right,
Yeah.
I'm going to create. What shall I do? You're going to do. Oh, that you bastard!
Yeah.
You're going to do the. You're going to do the Beckham. Well, you know, when you've done the real thing, it's kind of like.
Yeah, you can't do that.
No, I will do. I'm going to do a haircut by Sassoons called the Veil.
Okay.
And the Veil is a very, very, very layered sort of haircut through here and here, and it's left completely not connected in any shape. It's left completely disconnected through the ends, and you take it quite short to the crown. You leave the front quite disconnected, so you've got this very, very short internal layering, this heavy fringe, and then you've got this veil of hair. It looks, on men and women, it's an insane haircut that I do a lot, and it's called the Veil. So you're going to do the Beckham Mohawk 2002 World Cup.
2002, that's it. Sorry, I got it wrong.
And I'm going to do my interpretation, just an interpretation, because I would never try and take on a Sassoons at their shit. But I'm going to do an interpretation of the Veil.
Yes, love that. A couple of things, actually, before we do dive off. I had a question off Sharon Wright, who's not... she's actually watched it. She said she won't be able to watch tonight, so she had a question for you. And while I found that, here it is.
I'm single.
Yeah.
I'm waiting today. I need a new girlfriend. Please help. Go on.
She said she can't tune in tonight, but she got a great question. She can't believe she didn't ask before. Steve Strange, winner of the first show, and returned to become the charismatic receptionist. He went on to become a huge inspiration for the new romantic era in the 80s. Do I remember him? Anyway, the question... what are your memories of him, Ada?
Right then, this is going to make you laugh. What's her name?
Sharon Wright.
Sharon, you've got the wrong person and the wrong show. Steve Strange, who was a lovely guy and I knew extremely well, did a show called Scissorhands with Lee Stafford.
Yeah, oh fucking hell.
I was doing a different show at the time on BBC called Young Hairdresser of the Year with Beverly Cabela. You know Beverly Cabela? It was a BBC. It was called Young Hairdresser of the Year, and we took. Actually, Jamie Stevens' wife was one of the contestants who got to the finals. Megan, and it was like this really cool BBC show. There was me, Beverly Cabela, and George Lamb was the presenter.
Yes,
the guy with the silver.
Lad, yeah.
So the show she's on about is called Scissorhands, and it was Lee Stafford.
Well, Sharon, I hope you're embarrassed as I am. And then, who was he? The one with the shaky hands?
Yes, Steve Strange was. He was an institution in the 80s. He had that very, 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 very famous song that was number one for like 15 weeks. It was this song was like iconic,
Oh, I don't
and
remember.
he was like a new romantic, but he was a massive kind of. He used to be on the Doors in London in the early 90s and late 80s. He was kind of like a picker. In the olden days, you didn't get into clubs because who you were. You got into clubs on the way you looked. They were called pickers. So they go yes, yes, no, yes. So Steve Strange, God bless him, passed away a few years ago, but he was a genius. But the show was with Lee Stafford, not me.
Fade to Grey was the song, I think
If you're
it
going
was.
to be a good reporter, Simon,
Yeah, I'm
you've
going to do
got to
me.
get the facts right.
Well, the fucking hell, when your friends are throwing you private messages, you don't think they're going to throw you under a bus like that, do you? But thanks, John.
Simon, research.
What
I'm
else?
fucking with you. I'm
I know,
fucking
I
with
know,
you.
I know. What's he say here? Was it Fade to Grey? His song? There you go.
Yes.
I'm asking if it was Fade to Grey, because guess what? It was Sharon Wright that's telling me it was Fade to Grey. But she's
When you
already
come
got
off
one
this
thing.
platform tonight, check out the song and you'll be like, oh my
Yeah,
God,
he's
how
Fade to
iconic.
Grey. I know the song. Christian Wells says, get Paul Merritt and Terry London to do a cut with Adee Phelan. All together, that would be amazing.
Oh, that's funny. I hope Terry's well. I haven't seen Terry for 15, 16 years. I'm seeing Paul when this album gone to New York, but I'd love to do a live. I'd love to do a live with a few of the guys in the sound. There's actually what's happened already this week. People are talking about bringing it back again.
Yeah.
Rylan Clark and myself had a couple of meetings last year. He spoke to a couple of TV channels because Rylan Clark loved the Salon. He was a super fan. And I used to get outside the studios and see him there. And now he's done extremely well, Rylan. He's an amazing presenter.
Certainly
His
is.
work's incredible. And now, all these years later, we're talking about bringing the Salon back. It was a great show, 6 o'clock, makeovers, normal people. It was brilliant. So I think that, but yes, I would love to do a Paul, Adee, Ricardo, and Terry.
So, how well do you know Terry Longdon then?
I did series 1 and some of series 2. Terry was just series 2,
Yeah.
like the second series. So I got to meet him a few times, but he's a very talented boy,
Yeah.
extremely talented colorist, and he's a Birmingham lad.
I work with Terry.
What?
I work with Terry.
Oh, he's a very, very talented boy, mate. I mean, he knows his shit. It weren't just. This is the thing about TV and reality shows. When we do them, sometimes the talent can get lost in the gimmick. But Terry, I'd like to consider myself. I know my stuff. Paul Merritt was an extremely technical, gifted hairdresser. So there was some really technically clever people on that show. It's just that I remember after week 1, the producer said to me, Adee, you're taking yourself far too seriously. This is called entertainment. People don't care if it's the most beautifulest haircut. People want to be entertained. So that's why I start talking about big tits and telling people what clubs I've been to and what celebrities I was shagging. And, I'd bring a different bird to the studio every day because that's what they wanted. They wanted me to be that rogue, that naughty, chewing gum, being aggressive. But really, Simon, deep down, it was just a facade. It was just, I ain't like that in real life. I care about my industry. I care about how it comes across. But the producer said, if you want a hit TV show, you need to do we need to do what we hired you to do, is to be a bit of a bastard, a bit rude and a bit arrogant.
I'm not going to lie, mate, though. That facade is what got me into hairdressing.
And this is what production companies say to you before you start a show. They say, listen, go out there and either be an arsehole, be a prick, be entertaining, be funny, be romantic, be kind, but you need to be something.
Yeah.
So I thought to myself, right, I'm going to go down the arsehole route. It works for me. I've got a face like says arsehole, and I know how to, kill people on the spot with intelligent sort of wording. So it was my road. Paul was seen as the sexy, intelligent, sophisticated boss. Ricardo was the flamboyant, gay, crazy, mad, extravagant hairdresser, and we had some really cool cats, different characters. You see, not everyone wants to listen to this every day, and not everyone wanted to listen to Ricardo every day. So with a nice mixture, it kind of worked.
I said it last week, and I'll say it again. Anyone who's not seen this, I think it's still on YouTube. It was last time I looked, but it was a few years ago now. Get it on, get it what? It is fucking brilliant.
Great show, mate.
Unbelievable.
You know, I've done more sort of, shall we say, credible shows. Like the BBC thing was great with Beverly, and Secret Millionaire was great. Sheer Genius in America, a similar show to here I did, and it was brilliant. But as far as my break, I'd been successful with the awards. I had kind of worked with David for a period, and I thought, I might as well say, I wanted a bit of spotlight. There's no harm in saying it. At least some people won't say it, and people are like, oh, come on, mate. But I did, and Lee Stafford said to me at a very early stage, he went, you're going to do well, son. And Lee was a massive motivation for me. And I just took what bit of talent I had and I turned it into, I used my personality to take me the extra step. But, you know, I think at the end of all this, there's going to be so many opportunities for people. These platforms, I think, will grow and grow. And I say to anyone out there, I'd certainly tell all my people, listen, I've been saying to my celebrity clients, log on to this hair socials thing. It's a chance to see me talking about what I do for a living, because people don't see me in my industry. They only see me out and about and, you know, hanging out with this so-and-so or doing this. But this is the rawest format. It's two people talking about all sorts of shit to do with their industry. And it's fun. It's cool.
It is, yeah.
I like listening to people as long as they entertain me. But tonight's not about entertainment. Tonight was a bit more serious. We know we're talking about our charities and stuff, but I look forward to it, and I can't wait for next week, Simon.
Yes, mate. Claire Kendrick's got one question that I've not even asked you, and I'm a bit disappointed with myself for not even asking you this, and my friends will be disappointed with me for not asking you this, because there's been two things I wanted to do in my lifetime as a hairdresser, and one was to cut the England team's hair. So I've done that. I'm proud of that. Ticked. Bang. Proudest moment. Second one I've not done. Cut David Beckham's hair. And obviously you're a man who's done that. And so Claire Kendrick has asked, and I want to know as well, what is David Beckham like?
David Beckham. I remember the first time I did his hair. This will wrap him up in a short amount of time. Victoria landed me the job. Victoria's an amazing woman. I always thank Victoria first. But David, I was so sweaty. I did his first haircut. I couldn't hold my scissors. I was shaking. So I did it with the clippers. I talked about this last week. And then I did his hair in about 4 minutes. No exaggeration. He kind of looked at me and said, is that it? And then I spun the chair around. He looked in the mirror. He loved it. Victoria walked in. After about 2 or 3 times of doing his hair, I remember Victoria booking me once. She said, can you come down to Manchester? I'll meet you at the station. David wants his hair done again at a certain location that was private. And I said, Victoria, there's a bit of a problem. I can't afford to. And she was like, are they not paying you? And she dropped the phone, called back 10 minutes later, and she went, because back in the day, I didn't have any money, mate. And she went, those people looked after me. David is the most generous, kind. You can only judge people on how they are to you. Consider it. Is your hotel all right? Was your transport okay? Did you get here okay? Did you get your food okay? Did you get home okay? Come on, mate. This is a multi-celebrity A-list icon. At the time, his hair was the most talked about haircut on the planet by a country mile. And he trusted some dude with ripped jeans and a load of tram lines come into his circle and do his barnet. That's what you call cool.
Yeah.
And he could have had, and he had Tyler Johnson was doing his hair. There's lots of people have kind of done shoots and worked with David. I just worked for him for a period, but it was a great period. It's that whole skinhead, Mohican, Mohawk, that whole type of thing. But he's had many talented, extremely talented hairdressers. I was just there for a period. But the answer to your question, he was super cool, super considerate. And Victoria was just, well, I thank them one day I'll get to thank them properly, because they took me from nothing, and everything I got within 5 years of doing his hair. I'd like to say it was because of my personality or talent. TV companies would go, "We want you. Do I need to audition?" "No, you're in." When I did the salon, they went, well, I can say it now, it's 15 years later. There was a process, but at the end of it, they were like, "Well, no, we want you.
Yeah.
We need you." And the fact that you've got a bit of banter is a bonus, but you were in anyway. And every show, the show I did in America, as soon as they knew my portfolio, they were like, "Fly over, you're in." So every product range, every seminar, every show, every celebrity I got was all because of David. It was all because of that period of working with him. So I'm indebted.
Just think that. Let me maybe check, because I've swung around in sort of like comfort to listen to you there. So just basically, think about it now. So you did that haircut in sort of 3-year period, you said to me before today, and you've done it. People don't realise that you've done it for 3 years because you did this. Imagine today with mobile phones and Instagram. I mean, let's put it. I don't know if you'd have even been allowed to take pictures of him. Do you know what I mean? Because
on my show reel,
yeah.
I don't know if you've on my show reel, I've got this 5-minute show reel. It's just me doing the late show, the Graham Norton show. It's me appearing on all these chat shows that I was doing, and it's got a scene where it's me and David, just me and him, and I'm doing his hair and he's chatting. And there was situations where we would get cameras, but back in the day, Simon, if there was even Twitter or Facebook, I think Facebook was there, but it weren't what it is now. There was no Twitter, there was no Instagram, there was no... Mate, I would have been... Imagine it.
I know, mate.
Imagine me posting pictures and posting the haircuts and me being the man behind... Oh, mate, it would have been insane. Mate. I mean, these days, people always say to me, who's the equivalent to Beckham now? And the answer to that is, there is no one. Harry Styles, I would love to work with.
Yeah. Bieber's cool. Bieber's a next level sort of... I'm not talking...
Harry Styles, I think Harry's very credible. I love the guy from Arctic Monkeys.
Yeah.
Alex.
I can't remember. I know you're on about that. My best mate Robbie will be killing me for that, and Joe.
But I've worked with, Miles Kane is cool cat. I've worked with old Hollywood. I was living with Liza Minnelli for a year. I mean, this is a woman that did cabaret. It was my mum's icon. And next minute, I'm living with old Hollywood, going partying with her. And then I went to America and I was doing, you name it, I was doing them, mate. And then back in home, I was working with Premiership stars, royal families. Dubai.
I'm telling you,
it was just. But you know what? There was no social media. Tough on me. We've got social media now.
Yeah, but imagine doing what you've done without social media, like you have, mate. That is far. My social media is built up on other people using me as a hairdresser.
No. You've been that's a bit of an injustice. Your social media is built up on reputation. Number one. Number two, people log on, yes, to see faces, but they also log on to see what you're the man behind it, mate. It's like the Prodigy. Keith Flint, God rest his soul, was the front man, but Liam from the Prodigy, the man's a genius. The man's a creative. He writes the music, the sound, the designs, the album covers, but he's on the keyboard. He doesn't want to be out front, but anyone who knows Keith Flint and Maxim. It was the 3-man band, mate. But Keith was the mad one. But sometimes you don't have to be in the forefront for people to respect what you're doing. Oasis. Liam was the front man, one of the greatest front men ever, along with Freddie Mercury. Noel was the songwriter, mate.
Well, but going to that
relationship, yeah.
But going to my Instagram, like you said, you've done this without an Instagram. Right? I've done what I've done with a platform that's made it so much easier for me to get there. And I've not even got anywhere yet. Let's put it that way. I've never won awards. I've not been an accolade. I'm an artist for Matrix, which I'm really grateful for that they gave me a chance. But I did it on basically cutting England teams there, and thousands of followers started wanting to see the England team, behind the scenes. And then
But that was your angle. I mean, we all have an angle, mate. I mean, I won men's British, and my life turned within the industry overnight.
Yeah.
Fudge gave me a £30,000 signing contract. I was living on 40 quid a week.
Yeah.
Next minute, and next minute I'm doing this. But even back in the day when I started doing TV, I weren't that smart. I should have had an agent from day. I didn't have an agent till I came off the salon. And I was turning down stuff that now I think, oh my God, if I could have that opportunity to work with him, or I had an opportunity to fly out and do a shoot with Leonardo DiCaprio, but I was doing a celebrity soccer game. I played I'm a big Liverpool fan. I got to play at Anfield.
Yeah.
I got to play with John Barnes, my hero. I got to score a goal at the Cop End, but it coincided with me going to do this David LaChapelle shoot with Leonardo DiCaprio, and I blew it out. I went, I want to play football at Anfield. But on hindsight, Jesus Christ, working with one of the biggest stars and the biggest photographers on the planet, and I wanted to play football at Anfield. So we all get opportunities. This platform will only build for you. When this virus is over, I hope you continue, because I think it will grow and grow. And I think it's going to take you another year. And I think within a year, you could have 100,000 hairdressers streaming, promoting, blogging, vlogging, and you could turn this into something really special. You've got it going right.
Yeah.
Any help or advice I can give, but I think whatever you're doing, best bit of advice is keep doing it, because it's working.
Thank you.
Listen, I'm no mug. I don't waste my Sunday nights. I'm missing bloody Dragon's Den. I don't miss my Sunday nights for any old fool, mate.
Well, let's take hair socials to Dragon Den, then you can be on it.
Well, mate.
Yeah.
But, keep doing what you're doing. People out there, we're going to go now, but if you can follow me and help with products, and Simon, if you could speak to Matrix, possibly.
I will try my best, sir. And on Matrix, I'll just sign off my personal self with this. I am actually doing a live on Matrix Facebook page, doing a haircut. I'm doing a modern version of a mullet, which is a bit of me, really. I enjoy them kind of haircuts. So if you want to see that, I can't even remember what time on. I think it's 4 p.m. on Tuesday. But yeah, I'll put something on my social media later.
4 p.m?
I think so, yeah.
Well, I'll log on and absolutely rip the shit out of you for an hour, okay?
You get to see me at my worst, mate. Like, I'll just put all this up here and cut it. But yeah, no, thanks for joining us, everybody. Thank you to Adee for coming back on.
Thank you to everyone that tuned in. Thank you for everyone that's going to watch it after, because you always upload it, don't you?
Yeah, it's going straight on now. It'll be on everything, and it'll be available on podcast thanks to Redmond Multimedia.
And I will speak to you during the week about, let's create a really cool banner for the men's competition.
Okay.
And I will see you next Sunday.
Yep.
8 o'clock.
Yeah.
Be safe.
Yeah.
Love to the family. Love to all your followers. And thank you again, brother. God bless you.
Thank you. Thank you very much, guys, and see you next week.